The Dragon Edition Notebook 2 from MSI. It's hot. No, but seriously guys, they've redesigned the cooling layout on this particular notebook so it doesn't run hot. I just meant it's hot because like dragons and fire and included accessories and all that kind of stuff. So it comes with a Dragoon Army mousepad. It comes with the SteelSeries Siberia V2 headset that has MSI Dragoon Army branding on it. Dragoons are not to be confused with dragons, of course, and it comes with an MSI backpack that has a Canadian patch on it that is presumably only for the Canada region. Now, if the things that you're more interested in are gaming notebooks and not so much accessories, then I guess you'll be pleased because it also comes with a gaming notebook. And a 180 watt power adapter. If that wasn't enough swag for you, it also includes, didn't see this before, a wax seal with an MSI logo and a dragon emblem on it so that you can write letters and send them the old-fashioned way and people won't be able to break that seal and remake it unless they have one of those, which very few people will have, I am quite certain. Now, in terms of hardware spec, you can tell from how sexy and beautiful the top cover of the notebook looks that doesn't tell you anything about the hardware, but don't worry, it's good. It has a Core i7-4700MQ. This is a Haswell 4th generation processor from Intel, which basically amounts to very similar power to last generation. That is to say how powerful it is, but less power consumption compared to last gen, allowing you to, well, you know, ramp up the clock speeds with turbo boost more often than we used to be able to. It also has 4 DDR3 slots, allowing you to install up to 32 gigabytes of memory in it. This one comes with 32 gigs, and a very unique storage layout. It has 3 MSI SSDs in it, so 3 times 128, giving you 384 gigs of RAID 0 striped storage. That means that if one of the SSDs does fail, you will lose all your data unless you're backing it up regularly, which I always recommend anyway, but it means you get blistering fast speeds on the main operating system and applications drive on this notebook. It also has a 1 terabyte, 2.5 inch hard drive for mass storage, throwing all your games on there or whatever else, music. And it has, of course, the GPU horsepower to back up this impressive shell, massive power adapter, and wicked fast CPU. So it has a GTX 780M, which is about 50% faster than the last generation 680M, and it has a 4 gig memory frame buffer. So that means they had to redesign the cooling on this notebook, and you're gonna see, just looking through the bottom, it is full of heat pipes, and at the back left of it, there are massive stacks of cooling fins to allow it to expel the heat from the inside and exhaust it outside. But we're not quite done with the exterior of the notebook. What do you get in terms of I/O? The answer is a whole heck of a lot. So here at the back, we've got a Kensington lock as well as power input. Gigabit LAN, now this is kind of unique because it's part of the killer double shot networking solution that allows you to prioritize gaming traffic, not only on the wired connection, but also on wireless. You've also got VGA out, mini DisplayPort, and HDMI, and the cool thing about these is you can actually output to all 3 of them at the same time as outputting to the built-in display because of the way that the graphics are implemented on this notebook. So you can have up to 4 displays running at a time. On the other side over here, we find 2 USB 2.0 ports as well as a Blu-ray drive. And then moving around to the final side, we've got 3 USB 3 super speed ports, an SDXC card reader, as well as a full complement of audio inputs and outputs. Once we open up the notebook, we find the 1080p screen with a matte display. Also, not a bad viewing angle on this one, which is always encouraging because so often you end up with gaming notebooks that have displays that can't even really be viewed anything other than straight on before they start to look kind of terrible. So we don't have that experience with this notebook. We also find the SteelSeries keyboard that has become a staple on MSI gaming notebooks. We'll give you guys a nice night shot of this. It's got 3 different lighting zones in the 3 different chunks of the keyboard, and you can have it breathe, you can have wave effects go through it. This isn't my first time encountering this keyboard. It's been around for a few generations, but in addition to having the lighting effects we've seen before, now it has a much improved tactile feedback. So they've taken that extra thickness that they have with this notebook. It is quite thick, and they've used it to have a keyboard that delivers much more tactile feedback and a way better typing experience than what we've seen on previous generation gaming notebooks. Now they also have their Dynaudio technology, so that basically amounts to better onboard sound. So there's a couple 2-watt speakers here on the top of the notebook, as well as a subwoofer built into the bottom at the back. In practice, Dynaudio is better than I don't know that Dynaudio particularly contributes anything, but what they've done is they have put a better audio solution on it. Whatever branding they want to attach to it, that's fine, but it is better than standard notebook audio. This is in my personal experience. They've also added their NOS technology. Now, as big as this power brick might be, 180 watts can't necessarily handle everything that this notebook can suck from it. When GPU boost is enabled, remember this is a GTX 700 series card, as well as with the CPU turboing up and their cooler ramping up, giving you up to 10% better performance. Well, what NOS does is when this can't provide quite enough power, it'll supplement it with the battery. So when you have weird little peaks where the power gets driven way up during an intensive scene or gunfight or whatever else, it'll suck from the battery and it won't limit your performance. It'll just keep your battery from, it won't dip down. It's not going to drain your battery, but it'll just use it to supplement it, and then it'll charge it back up. And that's a really cool way of implementing that. I think that's pretty much it. And I was right. That is pretty much it. So thank you for checking out this NCIX Tech Tips on the MSI Dragon Edition 2 notebook, which is pretty much as bee's knees as it gets in terms of gaming notebooks. If you guys do happen to pick one up, please do post a comment under this video. Let us know what you think about it, because it looks pretty cool to me. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more videos like this from ncix.com.